Alleluia. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. May the words of my mouth and the thoughts of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. It's morning. It's the first day of the week. But normal routine has been disrupted. And so instead of heading to work as usual, the women go to the tomb to mourn, to grieve the loss of a son, the loss of a dear friend, but also the loss of their hopes, of the hopes and expectations of their whole community. All they had seen stretching before them now lies buried. But hey-ho, that's life, full of disappointments, rife with injustice and death. The strong oppress the weak and exploit the poor, but as long as we have tinned goods and loo roll, life goes on and we get over it. It's what we expect, to just keep on keeping on no matter what. We don't expect God to break into our lives and yell, "Stop! Would you just please stop?" But here on Easter morning, the women experience something just like that. They're confronted by some kind of angelic superhero who shakes the ground and chucks rocks around and then turns and has a go at them. The English translation reads politely, "Do not be afraid." The original Greek is this: "As for you, you stop being afraid." And I love the Greek because of its energy and feeling, but also because it implies that the women should not just stop being afraid of seeing an angel. They should stop being afraid of everything. They need to stop being afraid of death, of loss, of violence, of power. They need to stop being afraid that life will not return to normal. Well, maybe they wouldn't be so afraid if this powerful divine being was around when they really needed it. Because what is the point of throwing rocks around after the event when it did not appear to uproot the cross and end the torture and execution? And this is kind of our question too, as our normal routine has been disrupted by disease and fear and death, and our hopes and the hopes of many have been called into question. What is the point of a God who can raise someone from the dead, but who doesn't get stuck in when you need her? Where is the divine in all this? Where is the power of God that shakes the earth and yells at us to stop? The angel tells us where. Not here. Not in the place where you buried him after you'd killed him. No, he's gone ahead of you. Now go, follow. He's gone, we're told, back to Galilee, back to the very beginning where it all started. Now you go, follow. After all they have been through, all they've worked for, all they have sacrificed, all they had suffered, they cannot just return to life as normal. Instead, they are to go and start all over again. For real, all over again. All we want is for this disruption to end and to get back to life as normal. But what if normal is not what we should be getting back to? What if now that this pandemic has shaken us into an awareness of the extent of inequality, oppression, discrimination, exploitation and greed in our world, what if we're being called to go and begin again? To start over in a radically different way, a way that does not involve the one being sacrificed for the many or being sacrificed at all, a one a way that does not prioritize the needs of my tribe over your tribe, or our success over yours, a way that does not lead to one country having 30,000 ventilators whilst another country has one, literally just one. The hopes that Jesus' followers had before his crucifixion turned out to be way too small. What they wanted was for their nation to throw off the yoke of their oppressor. They wanted their people to experience freedom and victory and power. To return to normal is too small a thing for us to hope for. God's hopes are way bigger. But the Easter story is not about the resurrection of one individual or one nation. It is about the resurrection of all God's people. Our normal routine has been disrupted, and it has given us a chance to open our eyes and our ears so we might hear that indignant angel shouting, "Stop! Would you just stop? Stop being afraid and go, follow, begin again." Brothers and sisters, friends and neighbours, it's a beautiful day. Let's go.